Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Something a little bit different for you today. We are going to take a closer look at the Shure GLXD wireless systems, and I am joined by Mr. Steve, none other than our very own font of knowledge. You are just about everything. I think you're a sound engineer, you're a guitar player, you work in the shop, you do it all.
I do it all when I have to, yeah.
And you are the man that I turn to when I need help with this kind of stuff. And I am actually in the market for a new wireless system for my guitar. And I know Steve has tried just about every one and is currently actually using, this is your personal Shure.
This is my own stuff, yeah. This is what I think is the best on the market at the moment, which is why I'm here to talk to you guys about it.
There you go, right. Give me the lowdown. Assume I know nothing, assume no prior knowledge.
Right, so what we've got here is the GLXD6 receiver from Shure. It's a digital system, so the noise floor is really right down there. It's really, really clear. You've got loads of dynamic range in what you're playing, so it's going to feel just like a cable straight to your amp. It's going to feel like your amp, which is what we all want.
Yep.
It's designed to sort of be as invisible as it can be.
Okay.
So it's a pedal-based receiver. It's not much bigger than your normal Boss pedal. Put that on top. It's just a little bit wider and a little bit taller. And you can get this off your board as well. It's not going to be a separate receiver into your tuner. It's got a tuner on it as well.
Brilliant.
Also acts as a mute there as well, so if you are disconnecting, you know, exactly as your standard tuners would.
Well, I think the thing that everybody kind of talks about these days, I mean, this is like you said, this is digital wireless, and there are still people who are crossing over from previous. I get people coming in saying, "Are you going to get police radio? Are you going to get dropouts and pick up local signals and things?" And am I right in assuming that this kind of stuff is fairly exempt from that?
Yeah, so when we say digital, it's working at 2.4 gigahertz, which is where your Wi-Fi works in your house, that kind of stuff.
Right, okay.
So you don't get any interference because it's digital, so they lock onto each other the same way that you don't pick up your neighbouring laptop's Wi-Fi when you're browsing.
Yeah.
So it's they're only talking to each other. The important thing is when you're going around gigging is that you scan for a channel.
Right, okay.
So, and it's really easy to do that. So if we just show the pack here as well, we'll just disconnect it from this guitar. So this is your transmitter. It's really rugged, metal construction like the receiver as well. Got the strap clip there where you can wear it on your belt and connect it into, it actually comes with a straight jack.
Right, okay.
in the box when you buy the system. But I use more sort of PRSs and Les Pauls, so I bought a right angled jack as well. Cool. But that's available as an accessory. So let's just see, it's a power switch on the top, and then hidden away in the little rubber side pocket, there's a link button here. And all you do is you hold down link on the receiver, link on the transmitter, and they both flash, and we're connected. That's
Brilliant.
it. So, and that's how you get to do that. When you go into a venue, all you do is you press the channel button there, and it scans for a free channel.
Perfect.
So channel 1 was free.
Yep.
Channel 2 is free in here. And that's what it likes to do.
Right.
So this was on 13 before, so I'm just going to put it back.
So it is essentially
again.
Doing the hard work for you.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't even have to think about it. All you've got to do is, while the drummer's still setting up his cymbals, scan for channel, and you're done.
And off you go. And how many could you run if your whole band was getting set up with
If your whole band's getting set up with GLXD, so obviously they make wireless mics as well for your singers.
Right, okay.
You can have 4 systems running concurrently.
Right, okay.
So it can be 2 guitars, bass and the singer can all be on this digital wireless system.
Yep.
That does use all of the space though, so it's not necessarily going to work in every venue like that. But certainly a couple of guitars is absolutely fine. What you can do, of course, is with just one receiver, you can buy multiple transmitters. So you can have one of those strapped to your Strat, another one on your Les Paul, and all you've got to do is flick them on and off and sync them up.
Okay, shall we, before we touch on this guy, shall we have a quick listen to this? Because there was a couple of features that you were playing around with while we were setting up.
So let's show it in use.
Yeah. So we have a Strat and we have an SG, because we like to be fair.
Something for everyone. So that would attach to your strap.
Yes. Right.
So, well, let's tune her up.
Hey.
So just straight on there. Nice, bright, clear metering.
Such a good idea.
And fully chromatic as well, so whatever key you're choosing to play in, or whatever.
Well done, Shure, because I currently have my wireless receiver strapped underneath my pedal board, simply because I don't want to give up any pedal board space for basically a black box that does nothing other than receive my guitar.
Yeah.
So this is ideal.
Power-wise, obviously you get a main supply with it, but that can feed off of a normal Voodoo Labs pedal power. Or,
oh, okay. So it's a
high
very standard
current sort of thing.
9 volts, but with a bit of current behind it.
Yeah, 9 volt receiver.
Well, as to be expected, I certainly wouldn't know I'm wireless.
Exactly, and that's what they want.
And feels good instantly.
That's all in the feel, isn't it? That's what we're all being picky about. So you're playing a Strat.
Yep.
Do you ever play a Les Paul or anything else with buckets and stuff?
Fairly typical in a show to jump between different guitars for different sounds.
What problems do you face when you do that? Do you find
I guess the biggest one is going to be, and I guess this is what you're fishing for, the imbalance in pickups and having one guitar set up for your rig that is maybe a lower output guitar, jump into a Les Paul or something with hot pickups and massively different sound.
And blows your face off as soon as you plug it in. So what's really nice with this, and this was something that was unique for me on the Shure, coming from some other systems in the past, is that the gains are set digitally, but not in the output here, not like a little volume control here, but it's set per pack.
Oh, okay.
But set here. So what we do is we press the mode button. It changes to dB for decibel.
Yeah.
And then basically we can just turn up or down the sensitivity. So that's making your Strat quieter. And that goes up a lot.
Wow.
But obviously what you can do then is you can turn your Strat up a couple of dB, have another pack maybe set down a couple of dB on your SG or something like that as well, and just find a nice middle ground for the two of them. And it's as simple as just turning one off and the other one on, and you're ready to go. And that they then remember. So that's already labelled for my PRS at home with a certain.
I like it.
Setting.
So you don't have to do any. So once it's set, you just plug in and it detects and knows which setting you've saved.
Yeah, it's saved in the pack.
Brilliant.
And it just goes there, and that doesn't change from gig to gig. That's always there until it's changed there as well. Yeah.
They've clearly aimed this, although it's a pedal board product really, but they've clearly aimed it with professionals in mind. And although anyone can use it, those kind of features are the sort of things that you would expect to see in pro kind of touring setups. That's really kind of what would have been, I guess, custom years ago and now available in an off-the-shelf product.
And it's crazy. I played Wembley Arena with this.
Name drop. You played it with this?
With this very thing, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, if that's not testament enough, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Oh. As we've got it here, let's just flick over to the SG.
And we'll see that in action to see how loud that is as well. So let's see how loud that is. So this is it. No change. I mean, it sounds great,
definitely
but
a bit louder. So that's going to be really handy, obviously, for your amp settings, and if this is going at the front of a pedal board, it's going to mean that your pedal settings, because you tend to get your settings right for one guitar and then you put another one in and everything goes out the window. So apart from
your compressors and your drives, that kind of stuff, I mean, you might even be able to lose some of those sort of fixing pedals that you have to have at the start of a chain as well, which again just gives you more space on your board for all the fun stuff. Sounds great. There's no, to my ear, no perceivable latency, which I guess is another thing that,
used to make things feel a little bit unnatural.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how small, you know, literally milliseconds, and you can feel it. I think that's what people talk about when they're talking about feel.
Yeah, and there is a threshold. It being digital, I mean, it still has about maybe 3 or 4 milliseconds of latency in there. But, you know, the thing is as well, it's going to be more latent the further away you get from your amp as well.
Of course, but then you're further away from the amp, you're going to get messed up anyway because the sound is travelling.
Exactly.
One thing definitely that I would like to point out, speaking in terms of what I'm currently using, I mentioned no names, but this is reassuringly solid.
Yeah.
It really is. The pedal itself is chunky, but the belt pack is just, it's almost like a little hand grenade.
I mean, it's really solid. I mean, we dropped it on the floor there just because we're not attaching it to a strap when we did the guitar swap, and you know, it's still really rugged. I mean, this one's a few years old now, maybe 2-3 years old, so it's done plenty of gigs, and it still looks really
the clip
clean.
Is really tight
still.
which again is small things, but that makes a difference because I've been through so many different ways of trying to mount mine to my strap or in my pocket, my belt, gaffer tape all over the place. That just feels rugged. The only thing I have noticed, you mentioned earlier, this is a bespoke cable. Is that right? Yeah,
so some of the systems you can just plug like any jack into. All the Shure wireless systems, whether it's guitar systems or like the lapel systems and that kind of stuff, they use their own locking mini XLR.
Okay.
So I mean, it's good because it's a locking system, so that's not going to detach from there at all.
Right, yeah.
So even if it does fall off your strap or your pocket, it's only going to dangle by your knees for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
It's not going to just disconnect altogether. So that is really good. You do get, like I say, a straight jack in the box, but you can get those as spare items really easily as well.
Right.
So, you know, have a spare. Speaking of spares, obviously a lot of these systems also you're going to eat up batteries. There's a running cost involved in these things.
Of course, yeah.
Shure thought ahead of this, and they've got some really good battery technology from their, you know, thousands of pounds wireless system, which is rechargeable. But they still give you a lithium-ion rechargeable battery with the Shure system on the GLX as well. These batteries last about 16 hours of playtime, so it's plenty of gigs. And a 20-minute charge will still give you 2 hours of use. So it's even if you get to the gig and go, I haven't charged it for 3 months, you know, it's still a life-saving thing. It's
nerdy stuff, but that really is music to my ears, because it's those things that make a difference when my wireless eats through batteries. It doesn't have its own cell. I have to use AAs. And I'm eating through them like there's no tomorrow, and I barely get through a gig now, and I'm on edge all the time looking for the light. So that,
yeah,
you're
and it's
selling
good
it to me.
I mean that, and just so that you know, so on the on the receiver there, there's an indicator as well. So what was the tuner mode? This is now your battery level.
Okay.
So basically everything on the left-hand side is there. So this is full at the
and
moment.
It's actually like a gradiator thing.
So you've got 7 segments there. So you're going to have plenty of warning as to, you know, okay guys, let's call an interval. I need 20 minutes to charge or whatever. Loads of time there.
I can't believe I'm getting so excited about that, but the one I'm using at the moment only has a sort of a traffic light. It's green and then it's red when you need to. And although you've got,
so it's not even a full traffic light.
No, it's an American traffic light.
Yeah.
And even though the red setting has, you know, you've got a certain amount of mileage left, it's that whole thing of like in your car, when the light comes on, you never quite know how much you've got.
So, am I going to make it to the next petrol station?
Exactly.
So this is charged, if you buy the 16 system, so this is the GLXD1 and the GLXD6 receiver. So that's sold as a system as the GLXD16.
Right.
6.
1 and 6, yep.
And you'll get a like a USB charging cable and mains adapter, and it's just a micro USB socket in there. So even if you're on the way to the gig, you could maybe use a charger in your car with the normal cable into there if you've forgotten about it. But if you don't, you know, there's plenty of people out there who you know, maybe don't run pedal boards, you know, like bassists and that kind of stuff as well, or acoustic guitar players.
Strange people in this day and age.
You know, people that just haven't found the joy of tone. So they also do a sort of a half rack mount receiver, which is the GLXD4. And this, I actually use this more than anything these days, because I actually use I'm not using that many pedals myself. I'm using a.
What are you using, Steve?
I'm using a certain rack mount profiler that is better than anything else. And so this sits with my little toaster, and that charger that battery just locks in there and it charges there all the time.
Oh.
So,
okay.
So that I have a couple of you can have that charging away there, and another battery in your packs ready to go.
Amazing. So you could literally like switch it mid-gig if needs be.
All the same controls, so that was still set at -3 dB gain from the SG. It actually gives you a full readout. It's saying 14 hours 52 minutes left on the battery there.
So that setting that we did in there,
because it's stored in the pack.
Oh right.
Yeah, so it's unique to the pack. So if you have 5 guitars, they're all a little bit different, 5x5 packs, one receiver, label them up, and you're good to go. You always get something really consistent sound and tone out of it.
And I suppose, other than the way in which you use this, is there no difference in the performance between
Performance is the same.
Okay.
I guess sometimes of benefit, because you could use this for anything as well as microphones, as an XLR and a jack output.
Right, okay.
So that you could, almost, if you acoustic guitar, one to your amp off your jack, and an XLR straight to front of house as well.
Brilliant.
Same with bass as well, actually. If you don't want to carry a separate DI box. No reason you can't do that as well.
Sweet. Have we covered everything?
When would you like to buy one?
Oh, sign me up, Steve. Sign me up. I will have 5 belt packs and
one of each receiver.
One of each, yep. Just so you know,
Perfect.
one for the pedal board,
one
for the amp.
I'll do you a good deal.
Sweet, you always do. There you go, guys. That was a closer look at the Shure GLXD. Is that right? Wireless guitar system. We'll see you next time.